Hello students, and welcome to this video lesson on setting career goals. Now throughout the series of video lessons, we've led up to creating and deciding upon a career choice. That is a great first step, but the work is not over yet. It takes a process and a plan, and ultimately setting small career goals over a lifetime to reach your ultimate occupational goal. And we're going to talk about that right now. All right, so the plans to reach your career goals. What do you have to do? Well, once an occupation is chosen, a plan must be developed to attain a career choice, and that's called an individualized career plan, or a course of action that details the goals and benchmarks to make career goals a reality. Now, plans are designed using the available resources that you may have, although most of it is completed on your own. Plans often have multiple steps, small goals, and/or benchmarks to track your progress. Now, how do we create the steps for our plan? Well, it's first very important to note there's no such thing as an overnight success. A lot of people see the end goal or the results, but they don't see the work that gets put in. The success is just the tip of the iceberg, all right? The rest of it, all the efforts are underneath the iceberg, underneath the water, and you don't see that. So how do we get there? Well, it all starts with intermediate planning goals, and they're needed to help reach your ultimate goal. So think about your career goal as the big prize at the end. And to get there, you have to accomplish small little steps. These are called intermediate goals. Okay? Now, intermediate planning goals, they break up the ultimate end goal into smaller, more manageable steps. Because if I were to tell you in 20 years your career will be there, a lot of people can't see past the end of the week. So 20 years would be very difficult, and it would be hard for them not to give up. Small goals give you something to work for every day. Okay? And by doing this, small step-by-step plans, all right, it feels less overwhelming. It doesn't feel like an overall challenge. It feels like you can do this. And every step is a stepping stone to the next step. Okay? Now, these smaller steps will ultimately help you focus and have confidence as tasks are completed. And this will help your personal motivation. The more success you have, the more you're willing to continue to pursue goals. Now, what kind of goals are there? Well, there are three types. You have short-term goals, medium-term, and long-term goals. All goals must have a time frame to keep people on task and focused on the achievement. Again, a goal without a plan is simply a wish. So if you create the goal, you must want to accomplish it by a certain time frame, or you risk never achieving it at all. Okay? Goals must be realistic. Setting goals too high may cause failure and overwhelm a person to the point of giving up, and they don't want to try anymore. When you're setting goals, an honest evaluation about your personal skills and your limitation is very important, because again, you want to set realistic goals, so you need to be honest with yourself about your skill level. And if that means you have to learn a skill to ultimately achieve your goal, then that's what you have to do. So let's look at the time frame of the types of goals. Well, short-term goals can be anything that are less than a year long. All right, these could be, a day, daily tasks. They could be weekly tasks, something you want to achieve in the month, or within a school year per se. Okay, medium-term goals are 1 to 5 years. Now, a lot of people are setting medium-term goals as the next step. So if you're in high school, pursuing a post-secondary, work or training program, college, etc. Okay? Long-term goals is where you see yourself way down the line. Where do you see yourself in your 20s, in your 30s, in your 40s? All right, this is the result of many short-term and medium-term goals over time. Well, how do we know we created a good goal? Well, you got to be smart about it. Well, the acronym SMART anyway, S-M-A-R-T. Okay, and they each stand for something that when you create a goal, it should follow. S, specific. You need to be specific about your goals. nothing vague. I always tell kids and students, a lot of kids, oh, my goal is to pass the class. Okay, cool. What does that mean? What's specific? Now, the ultimate goal should be, I want to get a B+ or better in the class. All right, so now passing, we don't know what passing means. All right, it's vague. Okay, most of the time it's D or better, but I don't know if that's a good goal. All right, but B+ or better, or an A or better, all right, could be a good specific goal you can reach. All right, M is measurable. You have to know you either completed it or you didn't complete it. There's no gray area, right? So if someone is doing a fitness goal and they want to lose 5 pounds, all right, you either lost the 5 pounds or you didn't, all right? If you want to say, oh, I want to lose weight, okay, that's great, but what is losing weight? Half a pound, a quarter of a pound? Be specific about your goals, otherwise there's a lot of gray area. Okay? A is attainable. You don't want to say, hey, I want to fly today. Flying obviously is not reachable unless you're going in an airplane. But it needs to be something that you can achieve, right? Not low. Don't set the bar low, but something that's going to challenge you, but you can get it with the right amount of work. R means relative, all right? You have long-term goals to be the best person you can be, have an occupation, and your goal should be relative to your next step. So if your goal is to go to college, small goals may be to get the best grades possible in each of your classes so that you can get into school. All right, so your grades are relative to getting into school, or volunteering at different organizations and building up your resume. These are relative goals that can lead to your ultimately going to college. And then T is time frame. There has to be a time frame, because if you say a goal and you don't have a time frame, it's very easy to procrastinate or give up on the goal. So we don't want to do that. So give it a time frame. I want to do this in a week. I want to do this today. I want to do this by the end of the school year. I want to do it by the end of the course, or I want to do it in 5 years. If you set the goal for a time frame, it's easier to stay on track and on task. So let's look at some examples. Well, a short-term goal. This would be taking a course on technology to learn to use computers, a transferable job skill. All right, so a short-term goal. I'm going to take this course. It's such and such time, right? Usually anywhere from 3 to 6 months. And I'm going to learn to use computers, all right, every day. And it's a job skill I can use. So it checks all the boxes, all right? It's specific, okay? It's measurable. You either took the course or you didn't, all right? It's attainable. You can do this. All right, it's relative because you can use this job skill anywhere. And there's a time frame because the course will be done in a certain amount of time. Medium-term goal. Become a volunteer or an intern at a hospital for a health career that interests you. All right, so if you want to get into the health field, obviously building up your experience will be a great way to do that. So becoming a volunteer or intern or getting a part-time job within the medical field or in the health field will help boost your resume, so when you apply for a program down the line, you have a better chance of getting in. And then a long-term goal is becoming a registered nurse and working at a hospital of your choice. So there's your career goal. And there's going to be a lot of steps in between now and then to achieve the long-term goal. Because you're not going to become a nurse tomorrow. It's going to be a couple of years down the line, right? Most programs are anywhere from 2 to 4 years after you get out of high school, minimum. So it takes time. It's not there tomorrow, but it takes small short-term goals, medium-term goals to achieve your ultimate long-term goal. Okay? And then again, to reiterate, long-term goals are reached through various medium-term and short-term goals. All right, so how does education, training, and goal setting all come together? Well, most occupations and careers require some sort of education and training. It's inevitable. You're going to learn. You're never going to stop learning, and you have to be a lifelong learner. A lot of people think once you finish high school, you never have to look at a book again. That's not true. Once you finish college, you're never going to have to learn anything again. It's not the case. No matter what job you have, you're always going to do some sort of training or education or learning, whether it's a transferable job skill or a specific job skill for your current career or occupation. Okay? Medium-term goals for all people typically revolve around attaining a specific degree, certificate, or training for a job, because it's going to happen within 1 to 5 years. So most people are deciding what college to go to, what program to go to, whether or not even they switched a job and now want to go back to school or back to a training program and switch careers. All right, all these are medium-term goals. All programs and trainings require registration or acceptance into the courses. The application process will review your resume, your portfolio, and an assortment of forms. The process proves that a person is a quality candidate for a program. Now, building your application and getting into a program, these would be short-term goals to reach your medium-term goals. So filling out your application and doing all the things that check the boxes will be your short-term goals to reach your medium-term goal. Resumes and career profiles will include your basic personal information, list of work experience, education experience, grades, letters of recommendation, and personal essays. All things that will be accomplished with short-term goals. And doing your short-term goals and your medium-term goals, everyone should always work to be the best candidate possible for acceptance into a program. It's inevitable that the world is competitive. Right? Not everybody can have a trophy, and not everybody is going to win, and not everyone's going to get the job that they want. Myself included, I never got every job that I applied for the first time through. There were jobs that I just did not get chosen for, and that will help develop you in what you need to be better. Failure is not a problem. It's picking yourself back up and continuing on in the face of failure that will make you a winner. All right, so how do we do career training? Well, there's a lot of ways now, and I'm going to talk about 4 of them real quickly. Online learning is becoming very, very popular. It's a computer-based training program that uses interactive technologies such as computers, telecommuting, CD-ROMs, websites, digital video programming. All right, and people like it because it's gaining popularity due to its convenience, its pace, and its flexibility in a busy world. The next is on-the-job training, is on-site instruction in how to perform a particular job. Many jobs use the first few days of the job, or called orientation, to teach employees what to do. And then there are more formalized trainings that may be completed on-site also. These are new software, how to handle different situations in the workplace, or even a new skill or new training that you need to do because of changing technology. All right, so nothing will change as time goes on. Just know that you're always going to be learning. All right, continuing on, vocational technical centers are very popular, and they're special schools that offer a specific type of job skill or variety of skills, and they can also provide a job certificate. Vocations are just another fancy word for an occupation or a career. You hear the words used interchangeably. And a lot of vocations typically will revolve around automotive, computer tech jobs, culinary arts, or business tech. Hands-on jobs, usually how vocations are referred to. Apprenticeships are other ways you can do career training, and these are programs where a person, an apprentice, learns how to do a job through hands-on experience under the guidance of a skilled worker. Examples include plumbing, carpentry, and electric work off the top of my head. Now, we've just finished the slides on setting career goals. Now, once you choose an occupation or a career that you want to pursue, you have to start breaking up your journey, and it's going to be a long one, into small, attainable goals. These are short-term goals, medium-term goals to reach your long-term goal, right? And by doing this, it will make it feel easier, more manageable, and those small successes will help develop your motivation. It's going to be a long journey, but I promise you it will be a good one, right? Put in the effort. Don't get soft between the ears. Handle adversity, right? And give it all you got and battle every day, right? Thank you for listening to this video lesson. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.